What is up, guys? William here, back again from fitnessforbackpain.com, talking about anterior pelvic tilt and back pain, APT and back pain. In today's video, I'm gonna talk about why you may have anterior pelvic tilt, what muscle groups you're going to be targeting, and the specific exercises for you to use to get yourself out of this position into a better position, especially when it comes to getting pain relief. And if by chance you have been trying to target your core training, but you're trying to figure out why you keep having low back pain with your core workouts or specific core exercises, I wanna give you a free gift. You can go to fitnessforbackpain.com/core blueprint. I'm gonna be talking in this video about specific core exercises that you need to do if you have anterior pelvic tilt. If you wanna know what exercises you should stop doing and do instead, this core blueprint is gonna give you exactly that. It's totally free. You can get it from fitnessforbackpain.com/core blueprint. It's yours. It's gonna go great with this video. Now let's jump in. All right, so to first look at why APT or anterior pelvic tilt and back pain, why these things kind of come together and we deal with issues, we have to look at first the most simplest thing that we do on a daily basis, and that's posture and how we carry our body. So anterior pelvic tilt is basically the anterior tilting of the pelvis. So often we get into these habits of getting in this awful overextended position, and then we do life in them, right? A way that I like to coach them is what's called the bow versus canister position. And I'll use my sticks here to kind of give you an example of what it should look like and what typically it looks like for people who have the anterior pelvic tilt along with low back pain, and how we can kind of fix it. So first of all, the bow versus canister position. So the canister would essentially be when you are locked in. So this is representing the bottom part of my rib. This is representing where my pelvis is in space as I'm rocking it. So canister position is when you have everything stacked nice and neutral, right? My glutes are engaged, my hamstrings are kind of on, my abdominals are braced, so I'm in this canister position. From here, this is a good position to be in. When you go to move, all that you should be worrying about is your hinging. But what happens is we get into this bowed out position, right? So when we get into this bowed out position, look what happens to my sticks here. What we want is here, but in that bowed position, we're here. So what happens is it puts a lot of stress and strain on that lower back. You're kind of always feeling super tight, super pumped here. And over time, facet joint issues, inflammation, disc issues, herniations, bulges, ruptures, whatever you may be experiencing, these become even bigger issues because we default to this bowed out position. So due to the bowed position, our core is stretched and weakened, or it's not being engaged, it's not the powerhouse of where our strength should come from. The same thing goes with our glutes and hamstrings. These are stretched or elongated or weakened muscles here that need to be addressed. So we're in this overextended position. Now, let's talk about how we can fix it. So let's keep it very simple when it comes to how to fix this, right? We have anterior pelvic tilt, we know we do, or we know we have a habit of defaulting to that position, and now let's just fix it. Now, there's a lot of complicated things you can do. You can go see a PT, a physiotherapist. He can do all these hip balance issues with you and blah, 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 blah. Or we can just start with the most simplest approach possible, and that's correcting what you can kind of control. And then it doesn't take a master's degree to understand this stuff. First is alignment and position. We talked about the bow versus canister earlier in the video. It's first getting ourselves into a better position. We take this bow versus canister idea, and how we create that canister position is we bring the ribs down. So our ribs are down, we're creating this tension here now, where now our abs can be engaged. From there, we're gonna contract our glutes and squeeze, right? So we're not trying to posterior tilt our pelvis. We're just trying to brace here, turn the abs on by bringing the ribs down, bracing this, contracting the glutes, and then creating this piston type effect here. What you're doing, just simply getting into position, is creating that mind-body connection with a better position. Because at first it's gonna be foreign, it's not gonna feel right. You're gonna feel like, I feel like I'm like kind of hunched over, I feel like I can't get into a good position. That's why it's really important to do this like in front of a mirror or in front of a video where you can watch yourself get in these weird positions or what seems like a weird position. So my ribs are down, my glutes are engaged, I'm creating this mind-body connection before I start moving. So not only are you going to build a mind-body connection when it comes to getting into a better alignment, embracing that position, but you're gonna build strength now in this better position. And you're gonna build strength because you're going to apply this canister type of checklist to everything you do. When it comes to building strength, when it comes to bending over to lift something heavy, whether it be your child or groceries or whatever you're doing around the yard, you have to think about this stuff. Okay, am I in this bowed out anterior pelvic tilt position and trying to like protect my low back as I'm going down to grab something? Or am I going to be in a confident, braced, neutral pelvis, engaged position, and now I can go to lift and do my deadlifts or do my squats or whatever I'm doing that involves a really tight, protected trunk. So to keep it simple, start with that. Start with aligning your body, bracing, learning how to breathe in this braced canister position, and then practice moving. So let's talk extracurricular homework that you can do. We've talked about alignment, bracing. Simply doing that before you go do something or during your workouts is going to build strength naturally and that mind-body connection. So let's do the extra stuff. What can you do? Well, we talked about the core and how this could be a weakened area or a elongated area, the same with the glutes and the hamstrings. So the best way to target these things are to hammer these muscle groups during your workouts. So whether you're emphasizing these on your off days, let's say if you train 3 days a week and you want to do the off days, you pick 2 or 3 exercises that focus on these specific areas. My favorite core exercises that really involve or emphasize bringing the ribs down and breathing are the core pullovers, the weighted core pullovers. This is a fun exercise that involves taking a weight overhead while you're keeping those ribs down and locked in that healthy position and challenging this canister type of position. Now, the other exercise would be a banded mini crunch or a banded mini pullover, however you want to look at it, but essentially you've got a band overhead, you're pulling that down and you're locking your ribs into position, and then you're either holding a ceiling press type of exercise or you're doing these banded mini crunches, which again are one of my favorite exercises you can do that focuses really heavily on that upper trunk or that upper rib being pulled down and being braced. The other muscle group in question is the glutes and the hamstrings. Some really cool exercises that are very simple that you can do right from home are banded glute bridges. If you have any kind of booty band, you can get them off of Amazon, or any kind of band you can wrap around your legs and do some bridges with those. You can go into weighted glute thrusters and stuff like that, as well as the hamstring crunches. I've got a whole video on hamstring exercises that you can do at home with minimal equipment. I'll link that video here in somewhere on the screen or in the description box below. So there you have it, guys. That is my minimalist approach to addressing anterior pelvic tilt and low back pain. If that is you, make sure you leave a comment, like, hit subscribe on this video. If you have any kind of questions regarding this, any kind of more detailed or exercise specific questions that you've been trying to navigate with anterior pelvic tilt or exercise in general with low back pain, one free guide that I suggest everyone pick up if you're in the market of core training, you're trying to find the best type of core training to build structure in the trunk and to stay away from low back pain, check out fitnessforbackpain.com/core blueprint. I give you all of my core training tips, tricks, and advice when it comes to building strength, endurance, and coordination in the trunk when it comes to low back pain, but making sure that you're not causing more back pain in the process. This guide will help you with that. fitnessforbackpain.com/core blueprint. Question for you: if you've ever stood in front of a mirror and went to go into some kind of hinge or squat, what position does your body take? The bow position or the canister position? Let me know in the comment section below. Are you a bow position or canister position type of squatter or deadlifter or lifter in general? And that might give you an idea of where you should start targeting these muscles and getting into a better position so that your anterior pelvic tilt can go away your back pain can go away and you can get stronger and better. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next episode.